We're literally 1 week away from the finale event of this season, ending it off Fortnite Galactic Battle being Death Star Sabotage, and despite us having details about what's going to be going down in this event that's going to blow your mind, with the release of the final 35.20 update, everything's poured out to do with the Battle Pass skins and characters upcoming that we're going to be seeing on the island even as NPCs next season, where and when we're going to be seeing the next season trailer premiered, which is going to be earlier than Death Star Sabotage itself, how many updates we're going to be seeing transitioning back to a normal length season unlike this mini season we're currently in, and honestly just so much more to do with free rewards we can get until then that you won't want to miss out on. But before we hop into all of that, please take 2 seconds if you appreciate this information today to go over to the shop and slap code FM1 in there, literally being one of the shortest and easiest codes to enter, only 3 digits long. I don't make the rules, Charlie the Charcoal Pug does. It's been incredibly hot lately, and despite looking like Yoda, he doesn't want to be messed around, so get entering the code now. Just like last video, there will be a 1000 VBook code that flashes up on screen at a random moment, so keep your eyes peeled, as the first to redeem will get it. If you also want me to keep doing these, slap a like on this video. I want to see how many people are actually loving the VBook code giveaways every single video, which is fair for everybody. First of all, before we dive into all the intel about next season, what's been added in this final update is perhaps one of the best updates of this season, behind AI Darth Vader in my opinion, obviously being the Star Destroyer vehicle. Everybody seems to be going for this as soon as it spawns in game, and here's how you can have the best odds of obviously getting that opportunity. With the stats being revealed, it's determined that it spawns every time in the second zone and lasts 90 seconds. It has infinite ammo and 2 seconds firing cooldown. It can scan up to 25 players under you and deals 90 damage if you're shooting alone, 72 in a duo, 54 in a trio, and 36 in a squad, as the damage would be unfair with 4 turbo lasers instead of just you on your own being 1. Honestly, I've seen this thing decimate entire POIs and done it myself, so yeah, definitely a really cool giant feature this season, but it's going to be no match for the Death Star, which obviously is completely massive compared to any of the singular Star Destroyers in the sky, even the one that flies over the island. But data miners have also determined in this final week until Death Star Sabotage, now we're going to be seeing it repositioned anyways, more so pointing toward the island like in the trailer, where the Death Ray seemingly positions itself to shoot or target Lone Wolf Lair. And with this being a huge event, which we're about to dive into what exactly is going to be happening or what we can compare it to the likes of in terms of Fortnite live events we've seen in the past, thankfully for the first time this chapter, yes, we've seen a live event timer above where exactly we need to attend first of all, or where it's going to be going down or starting on the outskirts of brutal boxcars. And if that wasn't enough, another good indication that it's going to be an absolutely huge event is the timer in lobby, letting everybody know, hey, I know you might be playing another mode, considering the Sabrina Carpenter one of its kind concert has now gone live, I believe until like the middle of June we can actually attend this. And with the player base for Fortnite Mobile obviously returning as it's back on the App Store in the US and the EU, meaning that player stats have literally been like 5 million concurrent players some days since this has happened. Epic Games wants as many people as possible to be attending and taking part in this Death Star Sabotage live event, hence why it is in the lobby and also in game. Believe me, based off what we're about to mention, it's going to be absolutely huge. Another giving sign of that is we can see a beam of light in the sky for where the timer is positioned in game near brutal boxcars when flying over the island on the battle bus. But one of the main things that definitely excites me is apparently it's going to be somewhat similar, this event, to Collision in Chapter 3 Season 2, which was one of my favourite live events, where we literally operated a giant mecha team leader and went to the Ice Moon, where this was built by the new version of the paradigm, obviously coming back to Reality Zero. How we know this is because, like in the Collision event, according to data miners and people across social media who found this out from the coding, the pre-event will have a mini-game similar to the one in Collision when we will destroy asteroids and other things. And the same data miner pointed this out, that when we're in the Death Star during the live event, we'll be fighting Boss Emperor Palpatine. How we know this is because his lightsaber texture was added in the 35.20 update with the codename Ripe Honeydew. Based off the live events we've seen until now, with fixed characters, dialogue, and even being giant bosses like Doctor Doom that we had to defeat in Chapter 5 Season 4, it's going to be interesting as to the size, health, and abilities of dealing damage to us, the players, that Palpatine's going to possess. But obviously with it being a fixed live event, there is only going to be one outcome regardless, unlike, again, as previously referred to, the giant Doctor Doom boss in-game live event, which was communal, where we all had to deal damage to him collectively as a community across every game of Fortnite out there. Speaking of new skins, before we hop onto next season's Battle Pass, which are going to blow your mind in all honesty in terms of the characters in it and what are going to be on the island for NPCs, I'm sure you've all seen in this Death Star Sabotage teaser a fish stick trooper or stormtrooper fish stick, whatever you want to refer to it as, poking his head out of a TIE fighter, which many people thought would be its own unique skin coming around in 35.20, but I don't believe this is the case. The reason for this is because FN Assist highlighted your skin will be replaced with a stormtrooper in the Fortnite live events, leaving only the head of your previous outfit, depending on the size of your skin, it will be adjusted for regular, medium, and XL Stormtrooper armor. As you can see on screen, the neck area seems to be adjusted for all of these different kinds of sizes or statures of different characters or the frame of them. For example, the final one at the very end with the very wide neck area, I'm guessing would be applied to the likes of, you know, the giant chicken from Family Guy. However, a character like Hope and Jones, we can already see from pulling this into game early, simply fit the normal neck size or the first one of a Stormtrooper. And speaking of Family Guy, considering we got the Blue Harvest kind of spin-off in the show, here is what the buff Peter Griffin skin would look like, obviously having the max width kind of neck area for one of these Stormtrooper outfits being applied to it. Epic Games are doing so much lately, as another live event technically kind of unfolded in front of our eyes right now every single game, but in the OG mode are the meteor showers that we originally saw in Chapter 1 Season 3. Everything seems to be repeating itself as it once did, with these llama static warning TV screens appearing, flashing Morse code, or indicating to us from looking in the files that the giant comet in the sky is indeed going to be crashing down like it did in the Chapter 1 Season 4 trailer. Why am I mentioning this, you may wonder, as it has nothing to do with next season of Battle Royale? Well, it kind of does, as it starts the same day, and not only does that mean the Chapter 1 Season 4 OG Pass is releasing the same day, correlating in terms of theme to Chapter 6 Season 3, which, yes, is what next season is actually going to be called, but I've called it Chapter 6 Season 4 in the title of this video, as I know a lot of you are kind of confused or think it is that. And as for the passes, it doesn't stop there, as the only one out on here, which obviously is seeing a concert now until June 17th, is the Music Pass, as we're getting, after downtime on June 7th, another LEGO Pass, considering this one was also themed around the Star Wars season. Considering they linked the LEGO Pass and Battle Pass for Battle Royale this season, it wouldn't surprise me if all the passes for next season, as we know Chapter 1 Season 4 was originally superhero themed, and we know next season based off the fact that Superman is an upcoming skin according to data miners with his own mythic abilities, and Fortress of Solitude POI, which supposedly is replacing Masked Meadows, you know, where Daigo has been making these masks the entire chapter now, but specifically the Mask of Power that he used the ability of to then open up another portal at Magic Mosses, as the one on the outskirts of Warrior's Watch initially got destroyed, and it seems upon his return that we've been foreshadowed to thanks to this cinematic showing what happened in the Spirit Realm, succumbing to the thrall of the Dark Presence, then returning. He is not only not happy with Fortnite Island characters, but not happy overall, and I'm guessing he's going to be even more unhappy that his Masked Meadows location, where he was able to manufacture masks using this machine, has now been taken over by another collab skin, and perhaps could explain why, according to the inside leaks, not only is he a Battle Pass skin in this corrupted form next season, but also our main villain, and it's going to be interesting to see how this portal that's now activated on the outskirts of Canyon Crossing actually plays into the Death Star Sabotage live event, as I'm guessing it either will or we'll see in a fixed cinematic something happening with this like we did at the end of last season, or perhaps it could have no involvement in the event and only the aftermath of it shown in the next season trailer for Chapter 6 Season 3 at the Summer Game Fest on June 6th, which obviously is the day before Death Star Sabotage, so hopefully it doesn't spoil too much in terms of the outcome or what goes on during the live event that we all want to attend itself. But as we know from previous seasons of this chapter, specifically Chapter 6 Season 2, when that released, we did get the trailer a day early, and that was only one trailer for that season upcoming as well, called Gameplay Cinematic Trailer, involving both perspectives of a cinematic and then gameplay look as well, which I did think worked well. What also works well now on the island, however, are the grapple gloves, despite the maneuverability of the Star Wars lightsabers, making it faster and obviously more action-packed. If you didn't know, also with 35.20 going live, we had Rift to Goes added back, again making traversing around the island even easier, and let's not of course forget an item that not many people are talking about, as it doesn't involve travel but is still cool to use and get eliminations with, is the Junk Rift. Some bad news for this season on the other hand is it looks like with the release of 35.20, this final update only adding the Apprentice Ray skin into the files, there will be no more Star Wars skins, meaning specifically we're not getting a full C-3PO skin yet. A while ago we got the disassembled version of him in parts as a bat bling in a kind of net, obviously that kept all of him together as a collection. However, before the season started, data miners determined that he should be or would be a skin upcoming this season, which doesn't look like this is going to be the case now, so Epic Games may have changed their mind. Who knows, maybe those leaks determining there would be a full outfit for this skin were referring to the full model but attached to the Wookiee team leader skin in the Galactic Battle Pass right here as a small keyring on her satchel pack. For some reason as well, despite me receiving my 3-day locker rotation in the shop, which obviously was a huge milestone for us here on the channel, which I can't thank you guys enough for supporting using code FM1 in the shop also. If you didn't know, Madison Bay had a locker bundle scheduled scheduled to be upcoming even before mine, but apparently in this final update of Galactic Battle, it got removed. As Sheena posted, he downloaded some old updates and realised that this already happened last update, but nobody noticed it. Speaking of the shop though, finally, after 4 years originally introduced in Chapter 2 Season 7, all of the Ferrari set has returned, being the skins, vehicles, and just everything surrounding it. As soon as downtime occurred for 35.20, this was almost instantly determined, alongside other collaborations set to return, which makes me believe it could be before next season actually starts, being the Street Fighter sets. Literally all the shop assets have been updated, and speaking of the shop itself, this icon or tab apparently for a lot of players has been moved next to play instead of, locker being there, so basically before locker. And it's not even just the Street Fighter skins that are set to be returning as a huge collaboration very soon, as the Fortnite X Tron full cosmetics set was as well. A completely new skin that is set to release soon, not Star Wars related however, so just originally made by Epic Games, is this Administrator set, which definitely could be before Chapter 6 Season 3 again. And despite us already determining that Corrupted Daigo will be a Battle Pass skin next season alongside a new variant of Superman, as we've already seen Clark Kent, his human form or so it's called, in the Chapter 2 Season 7 Battle Pass. Datamine has also determined that Robin from the DC universe, or Batman's sidekick, which I don't know how it correlates to Superman, but oh well, will be upcoming for the first time as any form of his outfit or character in the Battle Pass itself, and will also be a Day 1 NPC, as this is the full list right here. Apparently, according to Wenso, most are story related, so we have Robin, DC as previously determined, Outlaw Midas, Shadowblade Hope, Underground Jones, Jade, Kendo, Night Rose, Mist Raven, new Daigo skin, so that's the codename for that corrupted character, and then plus 5 Season 3 pass skins, and these being the codenames of all of them: Polarity Win, Lazy Liz, Ashen Magnus, Bent Baton, and Spatial Travel, all of which could easily be superhero themed if it wasn't already an obvious theme from characters like Robin and Superman appearing next season. Epic Games in the most recent skin surveys literally made one up of entirely unique superhero designs with a consistent kind of star logo appearing throughout the chest of these characters, implying it's going to be like a new faction moving forward in the lore or storyline, kind of like before, we've seen this logo being the Sevens or this logo being the Imagined Order. Thankfully, now that Epic Games and Apple are now kind of friends again, or Fortnite is back on the App Store in the US and in the EU, remember how we had this Tart Tycoon outfit made in celebration or to commemorate when it initially started the free Fortnite movement back in Chapter 2 Season 3, which Fortnite mobile players were literally stuck on iOS until now, when it's recently been brought back in the US, meaning they've missed all of these seasons in this list. I've not got time to read them out in this video, but to summarise, they've literally missed 4 chapters. Back then, at the same time of Tart Tycoon being created, which we could unlock for free in a cup, they also made another character called Pie Patron in case they ever reached a mutual agreement with Apple in terms of both needs being fulfilled from Epic Games and also Apple remaining on the App Store as a game. And considering this scenario has come around now, it seems that the Tart Tycoon remix is coming soon, but as of now we sadly don't have it in the files, meaning we can pull it into game early, but many people have theorised it's going to be like a coloured version of the Tart Tycoon, not a selectable style, an entirely new skin. Speaking of the Fortnite surveys or Chapter 6 Season 3 next season Battle Pass skins, despite the survey of superhero skins that most recently released or was predominantly made up of, it was determined even before this final update, and I don't know how true this still holds or is, being the fact that this chameleon skin that we've seen on one of the previous Fortnite surveys, one of the many skins that hasn't yet released, is set to be upcoming in this next Battle Pass. In time for this rolling around, don't forget to slap code FM1 in the shop now, literally being one of the shortest and easiest codes to enter. I can't make it any easier. Either way, Charlie the Charcoal Pug also told me he wants you to do it. After all, we go to the extent of getting giant cardboard cutouts, and as you can see, with it being a hot day, this Yoda looking pug is not wanting to wait around, so get entering the code now. Hang on, in terms of where you go to now though, don't go doom scrolling, click either of these 2 videos YouTube's recommended. After all, it's a good suggestion whilst you wait for the next upload I do publish here with juicy intel on the channel.